welcome to another training session with my real estate advisor. So today we're going to have a look at real works, which is basically when you do your most important form if you're a salesperson, which is your form 6. So what we do is we click on, once you've logged in and everything, you click on to new form and then create, and then you've got to put a description in. So what I'm going to do is do test form 6. Okay, then you go through and you select which form you need. So it will be this one. So the code will be EF005A PO Form 6 residential sales schedule term signed document blah blah blah. So what we do then is we click on. So you've selected the one you want, the one I described before for your form 6, and then we do create, and then it should start making the form up, hopefully. Yep, there we go. And this is what your form 6 looks like. So at the top here you've got download, which will turn it into a PDF, duplicate so you can copy it, and then you've got a few other options and things like that. When you click finalize here, that saves it permanently and it can't be altered. So you can download it and turn it into a PDF, do some work on it, and then go back and update it. You can duplicate it so you've got a spare one saved as well. So there's a few other options you've got with this, but once you finalize it, that's the end of that. There's no more, you can't do any alterations. You're gonna have to do the whole form again from scratch. So we'll just run through the form so you can see what it looks like. So when you kick off, client 1, main client, put your details in. Now if it's through a business, you've got ABN or ACN number there. If it's registered for GST, normally it's no, they're not registered for GST, and then you put their address in there, so where they're based. Client 2, so if it's husband and wife, you put their contact details in, again not registered for GST. Now if it's a trust fund or a trust account, as in it's a family trust, it's a property that the family owns, then you would need to do more than one form 6, because you'll have client 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So you will end up doing more than one form to fit these clients on, but normally it's a couple or one person. Okay, so we've got leasing type, and then we've got the details here then of the trust account of the company and all that kind of thing, which should be auto-populated for you. Then you've got the details of the property, so you know, if it's a house, well, the address, the suburb, the lot number, whatever it might be, plan code and all that sort of thing, which you can get from RP data. And then what's the appointment, it's a sale, if it's going to auction, what the auction date is you put into there, but that's not really relevant. The start date of when you the appointment is, or when you list the property from, the list price or letting price or reserve. So if you're listing it, say 450,000, you put that in there, and then you've established the criteria of what you're listing at, and because you've done a CMA or an appraisal that we spoke about before, termination appointment within 60 days. So you've got 30 days written notice, and you've got 60 days to do termination. Whether or not it's an open listing, or if you're with a developer and you're getting more than one agent working on it, it'll be an open listing. If it's a sole agency, then click sole agency. If it's an exclusive listing, that means it's yours and nobody else is selling it, then you tick exclusive. And then you basically tick agree there. So your client signs here, which will auto-populate a signature sign there. So I think you're basically signing this about 4 or 5 times. So you've got your client signs there, and they date it. You sign it. The commission's worked out. So your commission, you'll do something along the lines of 2.75% plus GST on the total value of property, something along those lines. So that's basically, so it's 2.75% is the industry standard plus the GST on top of that. When the commission is payable, when the property is sold, you tick there. Specify other if you come to some sort of other agreement or something like that. That's the normal case. And then you've got your marketing and advertising. So this is where you would have had a conversation with them. What's their budget going to be? How much is different things going to cost? Like putting it on REA, domain, and all that kind of thing. You always get vendor paid advertising. So we have a total budget of $2,500 or something like that, when payable by as soon as possible. And then you put in any other fees and charges when they're payable in these sections here. Then again, the client signs again, agent signs again. This part 9. Part 10 is for reappointments. It's not really relevant until the 60 days are up, or you want to just re-sign again after 50 days, something like that. Then you've got terms of purchase and all these other different things. So you're just ticking, client acknowledges. Yes, the client's got receipt of a market comparison, market analysis, a CMA appraisal. Then you can list the properties that you showed, what the prices were and all that kind of thing. You write your comments in there. The client initials that page. Authorizations. This is for property management, so this isn't really relevant. Solicitor's details. Now this is whether or not the client gives you the solicitor's details. They might not do. That's up to the client to provide those details. It's not completely necessary to have them on the form. Public liability insurance, go through the main company. Auction, if it is auction. Privacy, you're ticking, you get consent from the client to do X, Y, and Z. And then the details of the property, so we say, it's a house, how many bedrooms it's got, does it have a water tower, does it have sewage, does it have cable TV, does it have a barbecue, does it have a bar, how many bedrooms, what's it made out of, is it brick, plasterboard, does it have an oven, is it fibro, what is it, what contemporary style is it, contemporary, colonial, whatever. Hot water system, is it electric, is it solar, how many meters is it to the bus station, the train station? That's not really relevant, this other stuff is. So you tick all the boxes there that the information to. You input the land specifications, like if it's 800 square meters or whatever. Does it have a safety switch? Does it have a pool certificate? Do you have any encumbrances? Do you have all the information on that? Do you know what the zoning is? Some of these questions you won't know the answers to. The owner will have to find out for you, and some of it isn't 100% necessary. Again, back to signatures again. I put the client's signatures in, your signature. The client's got to initial every single page, and then you've got all your terms and conditions. So that is pretty much everything. That's the whole thing. So if we go back through signing it once, where is it? Twice, 3 times, 4. Yeah, I was right, it's 4 times basically. So yeah, that gives you an idea on how to do a Form 6. It's relatively easy. Obviously we check them before they're when they're signed and they're done and everything. and if then things wrong, then we can get the client to re-sign them and things like that, and they would check by head office as well. Because basically, if this form isn't completed correctly, if something isn't signed or a page isn't initialed, then basically legally that client does not have to pay you. So I hope this has been useful for you as another quick training session on how to do a Form 6. We've done an appraisal, now we've done a Form 6, so we'll just keep going, making more and more training videos until you fully understand what it is you're doing if you're new into the industry. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.